Virgo, this is your week ahead tarot card reading by Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It's a message for Virgo, sun, moon, and rising sign. This is an energy reading. So if you're not a Virgo birth date, it really doesn't matter. It matters that you were called to this message, or rather you called this message to you, because that's how it works. You call it the algorithm, you call it spirit, call it whatever you want. But trust that this message comes to you at exactly the time you need to hear it. And this is where your message begins. You are never alone. There is love here, my friends. You are supported. You are supported. You are cared for. You are feeling supported. You are loved and cared for, or you're not feeling that way, but you are. In fact, what I picked up when the card came out was that you didn't know it. On some level, you've remained intentionally unconscious to it. But you are. There's support here. I don't know why you choose to not acknowledge the connection. There is a connection here. There is love, love, and love. Now, that doesn't mean romance or anything else. It just means that there is support. You are never alone. It's there. It's there. So, it's complicated. It is. It's complicated. I can feel that. I'm going to have to say this to you guys. Like, most of the resistance is coming from you. I don't know why. Could be, I can't believe it. I don't want to believe it. It doesn't make sense. That's always a problem, especially with any sign that's ruled by Mercury, right? The sense of it's got to make sense. I feel like we just went through this in another video, like 2 weeks ago. Like, it's got to make sense. It doesn't have to make sense. I think that was Taurus. It doesn't have to make sense. Listen, you are supported. You are cared about. Are you willing to let yourself sink into that? Let's begin. Virgo, remember, as I divide this deck, there's going to be cards that fall out. I'm going to leave them where they lay. That's part of the method. That's interesting. Weird. All this time, the cards surprised me. So that's good. It's like the universe knows where the right cards are, and it's just got to land them on the table however it can work through me to do it. So that's what's happening. If you're looking for a personal message, I provide those, but the only place you can book is my website. So please head on over to, after you listen to this reading, www.bornwithoutboundariestarot.com, and you can book and schedule at your convenience. You will always get your reading within 24 hours of whenever you booked. It's a quick turnaround. There are slots available, appointments available for next week. FYI, get them while they're hot because there aren't a lot of them. I do that so you can get quality and you can get all my attention for that day. And I'm not rushed. And everybody gets their message in a good amount of time, in a quick turnaround. If you just arrived at this channel, thank you. Please remember to subscribe to the channel and then ring that notification bell and select all notifications so that you know when I go live here. Because this is the only place that I do free live tarot card readings. So, public. If you're sensitive to sound, please turn down your volume. We're going to cleanse the space with a sound bowl. Ah. Bring your ideas to life. Something new started. Something new began. It's almost like you had the courage at one point not too long ago to believe it. That something is popping off. Something started. Your ideas became reality or came into reality. Supported and loved. That's where you are now. But then we have this. The abundant universe will provide in reverse. So it's almost like you have everything that you need. You don't need any more, but you're not believing in yourself. So let me just say this right now, Virgo. As it stands right now, you do have everything that you need and everyone that you need. But you don't believe in yourself, and that's the resistance. You're not letting this be as prosperous as it could be because you have doubts. But I have to say, I think the doubts are in you, or in your inability to, or in thinking, oh God, I can't control every aspect of this situation. You're actually missing out. Because the best things in life, you're not supposed to control. If you control everything, where's the room for God? Leave the comments below. I mean, let me know. That's the pregnant pause for a reason. Answer. If you control every aspect of things, where are you leaving room for God? And if you're not leaving room for God, you're really not leaving room for greatness. Because you don't have that capacity. Only God does. And so there has to be space on some level. Trust. And we're struggling with that now because it's almost like in some ways you don't feel deserving on some level. Is this romance? The person no. A lot of you are already rejecting this message because you think I'm talking about a romantic partner. For some of you, it could be talking about a boss. I know one particular Virgo that absolutely deserves a raise. They've just got to realize that they do and ask for it. Allow it. One way or the other. Either where they work now or leave. This is the pitfall of being a Virgo. You get into your comfort zone. And your comfort zone is that place where you know everything so well, you do control everything. But you're not happy. Because who would be? You're more fun than that. Let's see what this is. We have turned knowledge into wisdom. Intuition. The moon. We just had a real big moon. It was very powerful. New moon in Scorpio. The full moon coming up is in Taurus. So it'll be trying to a lot of you guys. I think maybe then there will be a robust understanding. Sort of emotional support. For you to sort of be clear on something. And then we have, watch your words. It's almost like on some level, you want to be very particular because you know there's a future here, or you know there's potential here, or you don't want to burn bridges. So you're being very particular this week right now, or it's saying, I'm going to be like really, really careful with my words so I don't have to draw lines in sand anywhere. I want to keep this real open. Watch that, my friends. Because you could be dealing with somebody who's intuitive enough to see right through that bullshit. And then you're setting up a situation where they're not going to trust you. Or you don't trust them. Because you see right through a situation. Is somebody just saying what they need to say? You know, parroting, repeating whatever they heard somewhere else. Like, I think you're watching what you say. In some ways, you might know somebody else is watching. They are. Dream the world into being. There's a future here. But you got your eyes on those eyes. Something here is you got to watch what you say, because something that you actually want a future with, slow and steady wins the race. Now, that's a good philosophy. But remember, you have to pace it. Don't just let it go and think, oh, it's going to take care of itself. If you don't touch base, that's not the same thing as slow and steady wins the race. So slow and steady wins the race is still showing up. It's still being present. It's just doing things. Consistency is very important here with something. You know, because it's showing up regularly. You don't have to like show up like explosive every single day, but there's a sense of the consistency is what's going to make this right and create a future momentum for whatever the situation is, and know your worth. You're going to reach a point in this circumstance where you're going to have to recognize that the future is better than what you've got now, or the potential is worth risking. And in doing that, ironically, that's when you're going to find your self-worth. You're not going to find your self-worth before then. Your self-worth comes at the end of the road. You're going to have to believe enough, even just in some ways, the potential or your curiosity in this potential, in what could be, to be able to take this down the path it needs to go before you actually fully recognize your value. But your value is going to be recognized. We've been getting some weird messages. I'm not doing traditional style today. I just don't feel like being locked in, Virgo. What message do you got for Virgo? This deck don't want to talk. Maybe a little traditional. You need a little bit more traditional. Leo. So this could be a conversation about self-esteem. Could also be a conversation about happiness and passion. And knowing to not stay stuck anymore. Yeah. Wow, that's beautiful. All of it, listen, either you or somebody, you are valuable. I mean, honestly, I've got this feeling that somebody thinks you light up the room. And everybody knows what you're worth. And credit where credit is due. And you are getting that credit where credit is due. Like, it's almost like I'm hearing in my mind, apple of somebody's eye. So it's kind of ridiculous for you to think if you made the offer or proposed the situation that you would win. You'd get it. There's the answer to the reading. See, this is how you know I'm not manipulative and like I'm not trying to like take your money with the extended. We're going to have the extended, but there's no question here. You're worth it. Somebody thinks you're worth it. You're going to get that raise. You're going to get that opportunity. You get it, but it's like, why are you not? It's almost like in some ways you have to make it intentionally more difficult for yourself to believe that you deserve it, when in reality, you could have it right now. Y'all gotta explain that shit to me. Y'all gotta explain that shit to me. Virgo, I don't understand. Ooh, okay. Patience and planning. You rushed into something. Not too long ago, 7 weeks ago, 7 days ago. Maybe you rushed to conclusions. Maybe you rushed to a conclusion based on lack of self-esteem or this idea of I'm not worthy. You're definitely worthy. This situation it's like it is unbalanced. It was unbalanced. I'm not really sure why you put yourself in it. And there's a rush here. So tell me more about that guy. Things rushed too quickly. Ah, thank you. So that's what Spirit's finally making clear to me, is you rushed into this situation. And it's because it happened so quickly that you think that you're now starting to see all the imperfections, all the cracks, all the things that don't add up or that aren't working for you. But there was something about this that you thought, I love this. It's such a great opportunity. I want to cut, but I want to jump in. But now it's like the reality hit. And it's like, oh, I might want to get out of here because the reality isn't as exciting. But the reality and how you're handling everything is what makes you so exceptional and so special. Your ability to really thrive here. Or you feel like, oh, this happened too quickly. I don't deserve this. So now you're intentional. Some of you are intentionally slowing it down and making it difficult. So it can be intentionally difficult. So you can feel like, okay, now I deserve it. But I had to make it difficult because I have to earn things. This is usually more Capricornian energy. But that's what's coming through, this sense of it's got to be difficult. You know what that's coming from? I just said Capricorn energy. I know exactly where it's coming from. Saturn is in Pisces, my friends. That means it's in opposition to many of your natal suns. And it's sitting there saying, you don't deserve it if it wasn't difficult. And it's bullshit. It's fucking you up. It's making you think that if it wasn't difficult and it's got to be, no. And so something here is making you intentionally make it more difficult. Slow it down. It's not that you don't want this or it's almost like there's something here you want a future with. But you've got to go through this grind to prove that you had to prove to yourself that you could do it. I'm slipping down here. Sorry. Ooh. Sorry, guys. I was like, you see me? I was like, whoop. But I got to tell you, coming up real quick is that time when you recognize, oh, I am worth this. And anything that doesn't agree with me, anyone doesn't agree with me, better get out of my way. But will you be brave enough to let in all those people who right now are cheering you on? This is quick. Oh my God, it's so right. Whatever it was, it inspired you enough to not plan or think it out too much. You're just like, yes, let's do it. It's so good. You rushed into this situation. And now there's a little self-doubt. Let's see where that self-doubt takes us. Let's see how to conclude this mindset. I will see you guys in the extended. Link is down below.